Next up, at UFC 315, we have Alexa Grasso in her first fight back after losing the belt, taking on Natalia Silva. Alexa Grasso 16-4 in her career. 4-1, actually 3-1-1 in her last 5, coming off that boring decision loss to Valentina Shevchenko, taking on Natalia Silva 18-5 in her career, 5-0 in her last 5, riding a 12-fight win streak. Alexa Grasso, as we all know, was a 115-pounder who moved up to 125, hit a nice little win streak, beat Valentina Shevchenko as a plus 600 underdog, and won the belt. Since then, about 2.5 years ago, the only thing she has ever done is fight Valentina Shevchenko. So this will be her first fight out of that very familiar foe. Style-wise, Alexa Grasso is a good striker. She's busy. She's got fast hands. She's got quick feet. She doesn't have a ton of offensive takedowns, but what she does do is snatch things up in scrambles and work really well on the ground. She did have some power at 115. Not sure how big it's going to be at 125 in this kind of matchup. She is 5-1-1 at 125 pounds after moving up from 115, and she is looking for her first win since losing that title. She's taking on Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva is a very well-rounded fighter. She is always fun to watch. Technical striking. She'll occasionally wing some punches from her hips. She'll work in some spinning attacks. She does a really good job baiting people in the striking matches, and then she'll commit to the wrestling. Good upper body takedowns. Good control on top. She's very powerful for this division, but also fast and clean. She's coming off the decision win over Jessica Andrade, where she landed more than double the strikes. I'm going to pick Natalia, but let me break down Alexa here a little bit. She is at a weird point in her career.
May I interject?
Yeah, I'd love to. Fucking love that.
We got people on Twitter. We got people on Instagram. We got people in this world that, for some reason, are trying to make this case that Natalia Silva is not a good-looking female, and I don't fucking get it. Is there any world where she is not she walks into a bar and every single guy in these comment section, live chat, views, whatever, are going to be like, holy shit, look at her. But then we got these tough guys on Twitter being like, oh, she looks like a man because she's got some fucking traps and shoulders on her. Honestly, Angela, I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm fucking sick of it at this point. And if you want to fucking show yourselves and show what you look like before you talk about the beautiful Natalia Silva, I'd fucking love to see it. And I'd love to see you in a fucking alley if you ever talk about her that way. She's one of the most beautiful girls in the UFC, and I'm not going to fucking stand for it anymore. Alexa, you're beautiful as well.
How brave of you. You're so brave. You are so brave.
Editor, can you get that to Natalia real quick? If that's what they do in normal streams, but we don't have an editor.
We don't have an editor. So Alexa Grasso is at a weird point in her career where, yes, she is technically speaking the former world champion, but she never defended that belt, and she won it off of a fluke. She won it in a scramble where she snatched up a submission. Then they fought again to a draw where most people think Valentina won that fight. And then when we had a decisive outcome and a winner from start to finish, it was Alexa getting out-wrestled by the much larger Valentina Shevchenko. It's undeniable that Alexa's a good striker. She's got good, clean hands, which is why Valentina Shevchenko even needed to start wrestling. But I don't think it's going to matter here. I think Natalia Silva is bigger, but also more technical, just as fast, the cleaner striker, better wrestler. I think Natalia is probably better everywhere and has that size advantage. Natalia Silva is going to be the pick. The odds are probably appropriate. And this is a similar Jessica Andrade type situation where we talk about former champion. Yes, technically speaking, she's a former champion. And she did beat the greatest of all time to get that belt. But the way she beat her and the two subsequent fights after that, it's hard to cement a legacy there. But Natalia Silva is the pick. What do you think, Jacob?
Yeah, I like Alexa Grasso as a fighter. I like her as a person. Obviously, I had her against Shevchenko in both those fights. The draw, she was my lock of the week, and I kind of squeaked out of that one. And then I just had her as a pick, and I think I put money on her as well versus Shevchenko because I thought, and what I always told Alexa Grasso she needed to do was initiate the wrestling on her side because she's got okay takedowns. But against Shevchenko, All she needed to do was initiate the fucking grappling, because every time she initiated some sort of grappling exchange, she was putting in Shevchenko in weird positions, right? That's how she won the belt. Another position, she got like a knee bar. She ended up grappling and getting the back of Shevchenko. But in that third fight, she was just waiting and waiting with the boxing. Shevchenko was able to grapple her, and then off her back, she wasn't able to do anything. I think the same thing needs to happen here. Somebody, our super chat, $1.99 from Envy, says, do you think Alexa pulls a Mario Batista here? I think that's what she has to do to win. Crazy pressure, in on the hips, try to initiate these grappling scrambles where she can find something, because on the feet, in the striking, the boxing is just not going to be there against Natalia Silva. She doesn't really have kicks. She throws a little bit of a front kick out there, whatever, but Natalia she never stops. She's a hard girl to find. So even if you're trying to shoot a takedown, she's in, she out. She knows how to grapple. She knows people want to take her down, even though I think she's got more submission wins than she has KO wins. She's so well-rounded. Alexa Grasso just has shown that she just doesn't have the pressure enough to score enough in the striking, and definitely doesn't have the damage enough to hurt a girl like Natalia Silva, and I don't think she's going to be able to get the takedowns either. Natalia Silva, I had a future bet on her. The second the odds dropped at minus 200, I felt good about it. I think that she's going to look minus 500 in this fight. I like Alexa. It's just this matchup seems fucking terrible. Natalia's not going to just stand and box with Alexa Grasso. Like Shevchenko will stand with a Muay Thai. Natalia Silva, you just can't find her. And she's so good with that counter striking, gets off the center line, get footwork, all that stuff. I think Natalia Silva dominates.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Somebody said Natalia Silva fights like Ian Gary. Not quite, but similar, honestly. Great footwork, high fight IQ, all those things. We're both on the Natalia Silva side. $8,800 in DraftKings Fantasy. While that is a high price point, and this is only 3 rounds, so I will probably fade that, because I don't think Natalia is going to get the takedowns. I think she dominates the fight, just with strikes at distance, 30-27, something to that effect. But I don't think she's going to score well in DraftKings Fantasy. If you do want to check out what the DraftKings Optimizer has to say, what the simulator has to say, and all the other tools, WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. It's only $10 for an entire month. And that month will not only get UFC 315, but 2 fight nights, and then UFC 316 on the other end. Couple more super chats. Next Lennon said the website wasn't working. He's talking about last week at like 9 p.m., the plugin that does the charts went down for a couple of hours. So well after the fight started, the charts just didn't work for like 2 hours, because that plugin had some sort of server error. The optimizer worked, the tape study worked, the simulator worked, the data kit worked. Everything worked except the charts. So kind of annoying situation, but real isolated 2 hours. Anybody who reached out, we had screenshots of everything, sent it over. $279 from Hazem. This was the dude talking about the door. He said, I'm kidding, lads. I love you guys. Y'all Aries, Austin. We appreciate you, Hazim.